Y'all, it ain't pretty, but we're making our own chicken cordon bleu. And it's all carnivore, every bit of it. We use chicken, bacon, cheese, that's the cheese, and some pork panko, just straight up plain pork panko. And it's a brown color because I use beef juice too. So it's gonna be hot. Stick around.
Hey guys, I've lost 180 pounds and sometimes my scale creeps up, so I kind of have to do some type of reset. So right now we are going to do a carnivore-ish and a creamy reset. I was watching Lori F&M Lifestyle and she made a delicious looking chicken cordon bleu casserole. So I'm following in her footsteps with a little bit of a twist. These are for my sous chef, so don't worry. Any little tippy tapping you hear, just know that he's handled. So yeah, I just keep him some in there because he just stands and just looks so pitiful the whole time. So what I've already done is earlier today, I fried up a package of bacon. I just cut it into bite-sized pieces and then I fried it in my cast iron skillet. But this is some that I already had, so I'll use this first and then that. Then I also had some chicken thighs that I cooked in my air fryer. So this is fully cooked chicken. At the end, I had some rendered chicken juices. And I also had a steak that I air fried. And so that is a little bit of steak leftover juices, chicken leftover juices. So that's what that is. That's how I'm going to make my my sauce. And then I also have some the Laughing Cow. I get the light one. I was so disappointed. I like the Asiago one, but they didn't have any. So I'm going to use this to create my sauce. So first off, since we've got all this, and some pork panko, I'll drizzle that over the top just to kind of give it, because I know I've made chicken cordon bleu before, and usually you have after you fill them and then you bread them with something. So instead of breading, we're just going to sprinkle some of that on top. My Walmart has this. They also have one that is herb flavored, but I just want the plain one today. So I would not normally make this in my cast iron skillet. However, my cast iron skillet has been used a lot. Look at that lid. It's been used a lot today for bacon and a steak. I seared a steak in there, and so I need to clean it. So I'm like, well, I might as well go on and use this. So first I'm going to warm it up a little bit, and then I'm going to add the chicken and beef juices into the skillet. I actually microwaved the little one for about 30 seconds and kind of got that one softened up so that way I could just put it in here. And now this is, like I said, this is going to be the start of my sauce. You make yours how you want to, but it's the chicken juice and some beef juice. So I need to let that kind of melt down a little bit, and I'll be back. And yeah, I let Begga lick the other one, so Sammy gets to lick. If I wasn't doing carnivore-ish right now, I could also add in a little bit of red wine or marsala wine. But since I am carnivore-ish right now, I'm not going to do that. I think it would taste amazing. But so now I'm just going to let this kind of melt down in here. And like I said, that's just rendered fat and rendered juices from the chicken and beef. So I'm just going to let that kind of steam up here. And when that's, you know what? I'm going to go on. So while it's still warming up, I'm going to go ahead and add a couple of these cheeses. Just 2 of these. So now when Lori did it, she used, come on, get out of there. She used Alfredo sauce that you can buy. That was brilliant if you ask me. But I had my brain set up to do it this way. And I needed a little bit of these cheeses. So that's why I'm using these cheeses. So anyway, and then probably what I will do when it's all done and the sauce is all done, I'll probably go on and add the chicken to this and the bacon to this. And then that way I can just kind of add it all into the casserole. That way it'll all be nice and what they say, married together and all that good stuff. So I'm going to let this kind of heat up. And I'm also going to add a splash of heavy cream. So that'll give it a more good flavor. But anyway, so yeah, I'm going to let the cheese melt. And that ain't even very hot. So I'll be back after it all melts better. I know traditional Cordon Bleu has ham in it. Well, I didn't really want the ham today, so that's why we're using bacon. I think the bacon will add just a whole nother flavor to it. It'll bring it on home, and that's, you know, kind of keep it. I don't know, for those who do bacon, I don't know if you consider bacon clean or not. That's up to you. But I'm going to go ahead and pour some of this in there. All right. So I think everybody kind of has to do their own thing and the way they do it, but I was frying up bacon anyway, so I was like, oh yeah, that's going to be real good. Having that bacon in there, and the cheese, and the chicken juice, and oh, my stars and garters. So this is good. So this is going to be our sauce. I'm not going to season this because I had seasoned the chicken, I had seasoned the steak, so there's plenty of salt and seasonings in here. Now it's just a matter of I'm going to, and this is probably going to end up brown because, you know, it's picking up the bits that were at the bottom. Oh my goodness. It's picking up the bits that were on the bottom of my cast iron skillet, which is fine with me. So anyway, I just want this to all kind of warm up, and then, like I said, I'm going to add the chicken and some bacon pieces to it. And at that stage, we will be, you know, then we'll be ready to build it. So don't pay attention how brown this is. If I would have used the other, if I would have used a non-cast iron skillet or non-dirty skillet, it wouldn't be brown. But you know, you done know. This is going to have, the fact that I am using it, the flavor is going to be amazing. Okay, it's a bubbling now, boys and girls. So you could try to reduce it if you want to. I'm just not in that kind of a mood right now. So I'm going to go ahead and add the bacon. I'll add the chicken to it first. Now this may be, my air fryer, I checked, it fits 3 of those. Hang on. Let me pay a tariff. Come here, Sam. Got to pay the tariff. Got to pay quality assurance. Anyway, since I measured, and 3 of them will fit in my air fryer. And so so this may be more than what I need for 3, or it may be enough. I don't know. Probably might be a little more, and if it is, then what I'll do is put whatever's left, I'll pour it into a just a container, and I can have that for work. I can take it to work sometime. So now I'm just going to mix all this together, and what I need to do is get a non-slotted spoon, so that way everything can go in, and I won't be leaving the juices behind. I'd probably, if I do this again, I'd cut my meat up into smaller sections. My plan is we're going to layer this like a lasagna. We're going to do like a little layer of this and a piece of cheese. A little layer of this and then a piece of cheese. And we'll see how that works. But I kind of want to heat up the chicken again, so that way it's heated up. So I'm gonna cover this and turn this down a little bit. So I'm gonna cover this for about, I don't know, 3 minutes, and I'll be back with you. All right, now let's get to building. This is my game plan. I'm just gonna put a little of this in the bottom of each of them. And I'll pour the juices, whatever the juices are left at the end, I'll pour that over it. Like I said, we're gonna make it kind of like lasagna. This could use a little more juice. Alrighty, so we're gonna do that. Now I know traditionally, well I hear traditionally, you it's Swiss cheese, I think. But you know, your girl's your girl. And we're gonna do a mixture. I have Munster cheese and Gouda cheese. So we're gonna go ahead and do a slice of the Munster down first. I used to work in the grocery store and I hated to slice this. I'm gonna taste it though. I used to hate slicing Munster cheese. But now I'm a grown-up and I'm gonna try it anyway. All right, so then a little bit more. This would be, if you're keto, ooh lordy, saute up some mushrooms and onions in this. Man, that would be slap your mama good. If it ain't slap mama good, it'd be slap yourself good, by George. That would be good stuff, Maynard. All right, so I'm not trying to do a lot, but all right. So now this is the Gouda. I like Gouda cheese. As they say, Gouda is Gouda. Okay. Now, now don't ask me the macros and all this, y'all. Too many. So now we're going to do another layer on the top. Like I said, then it's already all cooked. So now what I'm going to do is just, I'm going to put it in the air fryer to finish up. And just to kind of let everything all blend together, all good and yummy. Y'all know I'm right-handed, so I can't show you this part. But all I'm doing is scraping the bottom. Now, like I said, I was gonna clean this skillet anyway, so hold up. There's a little piece of bacon. Okay, now that we've got those ready, now listen, I definitely could have just done 2, but the amount of rendered chicken fat and steak fat that's in this, I don't need to know the calories that it would take. Come on, fella. It's one big clump. I store my pork panko, whether I make it or buy it, I store it in my freezer. Then that way, I just bought this today, but then that way I don't use it as too often. So this way I don't have it. It doesn't go bad by the time I get it used up. You know what I'm saying? All right. So there we go. That's what we're gonna do now. Now we're just gonna, I'm not preheating it or anything because it doesn't need to cook. It's just a matter of getting all that stuff melted and ooey and gooey. So I'm gonna put this in at 400 for about 15 minutes and I'll be back. Something else I'm doing because I don't use a lot of cheese either. So I'm just pulling like a few pieces out. I'm gonna put them in a Ziploc bag and these can just stay in my refrigerator. If they go bad, that's okay. I'm going to toss these into the freezer and then I'll be able to use these at a later date. Ooh, look at that bubbling in there. Can you see that? Can you see it all a bubbling? Yeah, buddy. I know it don't look like the fancy kind, but this is my carnivore kind, so we definitely ain't touching that. So we're going to let that sit and cool till there's no more bubbling. Then we got to figure out how to get those things out of there. So we're going to just let it cool for a while. So what I did was I let them sit on this rack to cool. I'm not going to lie, I put this one in the refrigerator a little bit. These little things were supposed to come with lids, but they only had one lid in there, so I could put one lid on it. But anyway, oh, and that ain't even a good lid. Well, ain't that a fine how do you do? After they've cooled all the way, I'll put them in the, I'll put them in one of these little containers. Then that way I can
I can use them later. So I'll take this back off and save it for another day. Anyway, so this is how it's looking. It's still got the rendered meat in there. And like I said, don't forget it's brown because I used my I used beef juice. But who cares? It's still gonna be good with beef juice in it. But that's how it looks. Let's see what we think. If I let it cool a lot longer, that juice would thicken up. But you know I ain't about that weight in life. Look at that. That's that cheese and chicken and bacon and pork panko. You know dang well that's good. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Well, now you know how to make your own carnivore. Got hair on my face. Now you know how to make your own carnivore chicken cordon bleu. All right. Bye.